Okay.
All right. Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome everyone here. If you are dropping in now or you're dropping in, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes. Good morning.
Okay, great. If you guys are dropping in now or dropping in on the replay, do me a huge favor, okay? Just type a 1 in the comment so we know you're here, so we can acknowledge you for being here. And I want to jump right into it this morning. Over the next hour, we're going to be talking about an incredible group of women who have launched a book in the Empowering Women to Succeed series. And many of you know Randi Goodman, good friend of mine, Randi Goodman and Annie. I believe this is now their 8th book that they're going to be taking to #1 bestseller with your help. And this series is about leadership and about how leadership can impact the lives of so many other people from around the world. And you're going to meet like an incredible group of women right now. And men, I'm going to suggest to you that we need to take notes and learn from these amazing, amazing women. But more importantly, there is a, see scrolling on the bottom says purchase your copy on Amazon. Okay. Please go there today. Go to Amazon.com. And I want to share some good news. You know, the book has already hit #1 bestseller in Canada.
Yes.
So congratulations, lady.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we need your help. You know, to all my friends in the U.S., anybody who has friends in the U.S., please share this with them. Have them go to Amazon. I believe it's like 99 cents, you guys. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can help change the lives of someone that's out there. And all these amazing women, they've already done their job, you guys. They've done everything they need to do. So all you need to do now is do your part, right? Don't procrastinate. Go to Amazon, buy a copy today. All right. Let's jump right into it. We're going to take about 2 minutes each from each one of our authors that's here. And I'm going to start off with Annie. I'm going to put her on the spot. Annie, could you share with us who you are and why did you decide to write a story in the book?
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you for the opportunity here today. I'm Anene Haddock. I'm actually an educator and an entrepreneur. And I help children to develop foundational mental math skills so they can expand their learning in all areas. And my mission is to deliver a high quality, affordable, and accessible education to children around the world. And that's my passion. And since COVID, we have developed a platform that we can now serve children anywhere, like through the online learning with a live teacher. And because I'm passionate about this was because of my background being born and raised in Hong Kong. Being in a family of 9 children, I witnessed how my parents struggled.
9 children.
Yes, 9 children. So I knew how important it is with education and personal development to help us get to the financial freedom. And why to make the impact in children's education around the world. Thank you.
Work with me here. My kids tell me I am like a technical dummy, right? So as we navigate through this and have just an informal conversation, I hope you guys are getting inspired by stories like Annie. Annie, I was born in Hong Kong as well. Grew up here. I love Hong Kong, so I'm jealous that you're there. Let's hear from Mary. I'm going to put Mary on the spot. Mary, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much. It's nice to see everyone here today. For a quick overview of myself, I had spent over 30 years in the legal field. I worked for a national law firm in many different capacities. About 4 years ago, I had a terrible accident while on vacation, and I haven't worked since. But my message to everyone today is that it's okay to not be okay, and life happens. We often have to find a new direction, but sometimes that direction finds you. And I always feel that doors will open. If you're too busy looking for it or trying too hard, you could very well be missing the point. So my idea is to find quietness, expand mindfulness and awareness. I found that ideas just flow naturally when you allow that. And And instead of following the path of comfort, I always say take a deep breath and leave a trail wherever you go. So,
wow, I love that. You know, Mary, I love what you said when you said it's okay
to not be okay.
To not be okay. And, you know, if we have a little bit more time afterwards, I would love if you could deep dive a little more into that. All right.
Absolutely.
Let's hear from Deanna. Would that be okay if we hear from Deanna?
Hi, I'm Deanna Anene. I am a realtor here in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. I enjoy the fact that I have an Ontario license. I sell everywhere. Basically, I have 4 wheels and will travel. The reason I'm in this book, I just want everyone to know that it doesn't matter what you're up against. You still have the opportunity and the ability to strive and succeed. Get out of your comfort box and go forward. And as I said earlier, this is ideally out of my comfort box. I am not someone who's going to be doing this kind of thing, but I love the idea that I've always pushed my kids to do what scares them the most.
Wow. I love that. Push your kids to do what scares them the most.
Yeah. And the same thing goes with business. You know, we all have that thing, or in life itself, we all have that one thing that we keep pushing back. And for me, I always make that the first thing I tackle in the day. In this case, it's the third thing I've tackled today. But I try to get that scary bit out of the way, whether that's telling someone, you know, you didn't win the house, or,
wow,
you know, this particular thing is going to take a little extra step. I always try to get it done first.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Deanna. We're going to come back to you. Clover Sterling. Let's hear from our friend Clover. Clover, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hello, ladies. I'm happy to be here today. My background, I'm Clover Sterling. My background is a broadcast media. I'm a Canadian broadcast journalist. And I decided to write my story because during my path of study into getting to where I am now, there are a lot of obstacles, and I pushed past those obstacles. When I tried to search for my classmates that were in class with me up to graduation, and I hardly see them in the field that we studied. And I thought I should tell my story and encourage others that though they may encounter obstacles, they should try to push against that and still go based on what your heart is telling you. Go for what's in your heart, and you will make it. And I did, and I was able to carve my path to becoming a talk show host, which I didn't plan on, but it happened. So never give up on your dreams.
Never give up on your dreams. You know, Clover, if I knew you were a journalist and what I think you said a host, a show host.
Yeah.
And you should actually be leading this interview right now.
Well, I had spoken to Randi to say that I could use my platform, even though I do not have the huge following like you do. But it so happened that my talk show has been on Rogers Bell across the States, across England, across the Caribbean, and on CHCH TV. But when COVID started, it went down. And so I'm trying now to get back up. But I still keep the brand active by doing real shows and posting to the channel, YouTube channel.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. You know, perhaps we'll have a conversation. I have a client who is from Jamaica, grew up in poverty, and as you guys know, Napoleon Hill talks about both riches and poverty are the offsprings of thoughts. What are you thinking about? And so today we've been able to create a new game. It's a card game called How to Think and Grow Rich with the Caribbean Think and Grow Rich Institute. Yeah. So perhaps we could use your skill set and passion to maybe have Rosetta on one of your talk shows to see if we can empower even more people in the Caribbean.
I think I have a book with that topic, the How to Think and Grow Rich, yeah.
Yes, that's absolutely amazing. All right, so we had our round table, 2 minutes each, and I think I mentioned let's keep this really informal. Let's jump back to Annie for a minute since you're in Hong Kong. What time is it there anyways, Annie?
Midnight. We're 13.
Midnight.
We are 13 hours ahead.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes.
So Annie, 9 kids in the family.
Yes. Yes, I'm number 9.
You're number 9, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up? Like, was there always enough food on the table, or?
Actually, like my oldest brother actually started working when he was 16. That's how the environment wasn't very good, right? Like the condition. That's when I see like lots of time is like my parents like struggling with financially, and that's when I, at a young age, I already knew that education and personal development is how the way to get the financial freedom. And that's why I see the high value on education, you know, like whether you're a children or you're an adult, because especially an entrepreneur, you still have to continue learning, right, to catch up with what, in order to grow, right? Yes.
Right. And so again, Annie, why did you decide to write, along with Mary and Deanna and Clover, why did you decide to write your story? Because you're already a best-selling author in several other books.
Yes, actually, last year there were 2 books that got into the bestseller, and when I went to Randi's Toronto Women Expo last year, 2021, I signed up right on that day. When I hear the name of the book, Leaders with Impact, and because that's my vision, that 2022. It's my year to making impact and also like establishing my leadership in the world. So I follow the title of books I find. Like I had 2 other books that I seems to follow what's the topic, and that's my goal. Like, right. So I had the whole year to get that vision of leaders with impact. Yes.
Amazing. Annie, what would you say to your friends right now in Hong Kong and in the US that are watching? How can they help support you and your friends, your authors to bestseller? How can they do that?
Sign on now to Amazon because today is our launch and purchase. And right now is a big discount with a book, and get a copy and get us into the international bestseller, because we already a bestseller on Amazon for the book. Yes.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Annie. We'll see if we can have time to come back to you. Who would like to go next? Anyone would like to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
Sure.
Now,
I can go.
I met Mary for the first time earlier, you guys, and she said, "I'm shy. I don't know what to say." And here she is. She, see how powerful when you become an author, you overcome your shyness.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Or not Annie, sorry, Mary.
Yeah. Absolutely, you do. It's interesting how life changes for you, and as I say, how doors open. I never in a million years would have thought I'd be sitting here, having written a chapter and talking with you lovely people. Very happy that it did work out that way. It's just a very interesting journey to be on, mine especially. Everything that happened to me was just pre-COVID. And then when COVID hit, an interesting thing happened there too, because the rest of the world was starting to experience what I was, with the loss of income, disconnection from people, and all the weight gain and all the other fun stuff that went along with COVID. I had already been experiencing that, having been off work for a year and a half from my accident. So it's almost like it was a level playing field now. And although I don't wish that on anyone, it was really interesting to listen to people complaining and talking about all these different limitations, and all the while, I thought, wow, all I'm doing now is just wearing a mask. Everything else is the same.
Wow.
But it was interesting. I just, taking that all in, and always trying to put best foot forward, and still trying to help others cope and deal. It was quite an experience, and now I'm still focusing on health and wellness for myself and my family, and really just wanting to share this story with hopes that if there is anyone else out there that is experiencing similar things, to you know, to not lose hope that there is always something else just around the corner. You know, I have a wide array of different experiences that I share in my chapter, from traumatic loss to having a special needs child, to my own experience having lost my career 30 years in. So it hopefully will help other people realize that, you know, that is life, and that life isn't over when those things happen necessarily. It's just a new direction that you take.
Wow, what a great attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's when you're going through. I'm going to use the word stuff, right? When you're going through tough times, I'm not sure how you feel, but when someone says to me, like, Gordon, it's going to be okay. There's times when I'm like, what are you talking about? You have no clue what I'm going through, right? Can anyone relate to that? I'm like, let me just punch this person who just said that to me.
Sometimes you just want someone to just sit down and cry with you for about 5 minutes. You know, that can make everything, that can make a world of difference, just having that little cry and then move forward. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyone else, like, if you're watching out there, can you guys relate to that? And if you guys have any questions at all, right, for our authors, Mary, Annie, Deanna, or Clover, please feel free to write them in the comment. And please share, you guys, okay? Like, share with your friends, especially if they're in the U.S., have them go there now. And I know we have friends and clients here that are from India as well. Please share with all your friends in India as well. Have them go and buy a copy of the book, okay? Who's next? I've got Deanna and I got Clover. Deanna, I can see your smile. Clover's a little bit in the dark right now, but so I'm going to pick on Deanna. Okay, Deanna?
Okay, Clover's hiding her beauty on us, by the way.
Yeah.
For me, writing the book, like, it was a bit of a challenge, but I've always looked at life, I guess, on the brighter side. And I'm hoping that when people get in and they read everyone's story, they see the brighter side. We all have had our challenges. I don't hide the fact that I'm the meat and the sandwich generation. Myself and my sisters, we have younger people we're responsible for. And we have older people that we're responsible for. During the penning of the book, my dad was actually very ill and had passed away in June from being ill, which kind of set me back a lot, because he's because he's kind of my he's my hero. He's my driving force. Between him and my mom, we would not have had the lives we designed for ourselves. We're very much outside of the box. You know, my husband, bless his soul, he's from Nigeria. So he's one of 8 people, or 8 children as well. My parents only had daughters, so they actually encouraged us not to let the fact that we were young ladies limit us. Like, get out and do what you want to do. You want to do something, go do it. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it. And when I met my husband, he's very much that analytical go-getter. And when we got married, I acquired a huge, huge family in Nigeria. Such a blessing. The stigma that's attached to Nigerians, really, when you're there, you don't see it. They're just wonderful, lovely people who welcome you fully.
Wow.
You know, and my parents encouraged me to get out and see the world. So I've been able to see a good portion of the world and know what the differences are from how blessed we truly are here in Canada, as opposed to some other places like Tibet or Nigeria.
It's amazing. Dan, I just finished, just before this, these interviews we're doing here, I just finished my meeting with a group in Nigeria. And we're actually looking at bringing a delegation over there. And we're actually going to be looking at working with students over there as well as folks who have started up businesses to coach and mentor them on leadership development as well. So
That
it's
would be
interesting that you just mentioned Nigeria.
Yeah. Well, speaking of students, our nephew has just joined us here in Canada. He's going to Wilfrid Laurier. So our house is contracted in the sense of space, but expanded with love, which is awesome.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Deanna. I'm just going to jump over. I wish we had more time, and I'd love to have you guys maybe come back another time and deep dive more into an interview. In the meantime, let's jump over to Clover.
Oh, hello again. Like a few others, I'm from a huge family of 9 siblings, and I'm 6th and last girl. So the others ahead of me, they were my role models. Everything they studied, I wanted to study the same thing and push ahead. And as life goes on, we have lots of stories. So when I was approached, I thought of the many stories that I could have written. And so I thought to share my story, how I became a broadcast journalist. Because I know first I wanted to be a radio talk show host because I'm very shy. So I thought being on radio, I'll stay behind the scene. No one can see me, but they can hear my voice. But then after orientation, I realized that the bigger picture, journalism, print and broadcast, it's endless job opportunities. So I took it on. And before I graduated, I decided, okay, I want to be on TV. So I would love to be a newscaster. Tried, didn't get there. So I was pushed into the path of doing a talk show. Didn't plan on it, but it happened. Doors are opening, and so I went that path. So I'm merely encouraging people to just to push ahead and follow what's in their heart, as I said before, and never give up on your dreams. And there are obstacles, yes. And because I know my end result, I push past those, and not with any bad feelings of anyone not knowing where I'm going. But I pushed past those, and I'm glad to where I am at. It was a surprise that I was approached after COVID hit, and you have to evolve with COVID and so many things happening, and you're thinking, what do I do next? How do I keep my brand alive? I remember during COVID, when they were saying you couldn't go with family, no one could come to your house. I thought, okay, what could I do? So I started doing 12 months, 12 dinner parties where on camera I prepared meals at home, and I post them every month to YouTube to say, this is what you can do, just to encourage families and they can still have fun at home. So I wrote my story hoping that someone will find hope to see that don't give up. There is hope.
That is amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Clover. I didn't mean to take you off screen.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm still learning how to use StreamYards here. But again, for our friends who are watching, I hope you're being inspired by all these amazing stories. I'm going to jump back to Mary for a minute and come back to you, Clover, as well. Mary, why should someone read your story?
Read my story because it's so diverse. There's so many different aspects of life that it touches, from climbing the corporate ladder to winning awards, having family with special needs, loss, tragedy, survival, coming out on top, not necessarily on top, but feeling very confident in myself and my abilities, feeling very at peace, and knowing that no one gets through life unscathed, and it's how we deal with those things when they happen, and what our attitude is towards them, and how we work through it in a positive way. Not to negate the pain of everything. You need to feel that very much. As I said, a good cry goes a long way, but not to stay there. Just
don't stay there. I like that.
Don't stay there.
Some of us like mire in our own pity, right? And we stay there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't stay there.
It's very important to move forward but at the same time, don't try too hard, because again, I said before, you can be trying so hard and looking so hard for all these answers, and unless you quiet your mind and are open to those ideas flowing freely, it's going to be like hitting your head against a brick wall for indefinitely. You really need to just shut it all off and quiet yourself every day for a few minutes. Not necessarily meditation and mantras and all of that, but just the quietness. And it's incredible. The mind is an incredible thing, and things will happen. Beautiful things will happen. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Mary. Mary, are you familiar with Variety Village?
Yes, I am very.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were just there for 3 days.
Oh, is that right?
And yeah.
Nice.
So
yeah, there's a lot of different organizations similar to that all across.
Yes.
And I admire those people. The work that they do is just phenomenal.
Yeah. And you know, often we think about kids with special needs, but you know, the joy, the blessings that they actually bring to our lives is just absolutely incredible, right? And my hat's off to you, because anybody who has to be a caregiver for someone who has special needs, sometimes we forget about the caregiver as well, right? Because we're all human and we get challenged. And so that's why I think you guys, if you're a friend of Mary's, grab a copy of the book and don't just read her story, like read the other stories. And when you read the stories, go to Amazon and give them a 5-star review. Because your 5-star reviews are going to help them rank even higher on Amazon, so they can impact even more people. Now, if you're not ready to give Mary a 5-star review yet, don't give a review at all, okay? Because we know where you live, you guys. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, if she deserves a 5-star review, give her a 5-star review. If she doesn't deserve a 5-star review yet, I'd rather you guys don't give a review, okay? You know, for some of our authors, it's their first time sharing their story. And they're going to get better with their story as well. If you guys agree with that, right? So having said that, Deanna, I think this is your first time, right, writing a chapter?
It is.
And then I'm going to go to Clover and Annie, okay? So Deanna, what inspired you to write for the first time?
I think just the fact that my journey into becoming an author was a little outside of everyone else's, or it may just be everyone else's, like running around with children, taking care of parents, you know, driving your own business forward. I never thought I would ever write a story that would be based on everyday actions, but everyday actions, little successes at a time, obviously make great successes. And of course, that pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. You know, selling farms was not something I would have done, you know, 10, 15 years ago, but I took it on. I got the knowledge, the understanding, and, you know, I've been able to sell a couple of farms.
Farms. Oh, I thought you said barns. Farms. No, okay.
Farms, as in crops and horses and that kind of thing. I just think as long as you're growing and learning and pushing yourself a little, and I'm hoping that that's what everyone's going to take away from my journey, is that I got out of my comfort zone. I grew a little at a time, and I was able to create a group and garner success that way. You know, and the best success ever is having a healthy family, or reasonably healthy. Yeah.
That's amazing, right? Yeah. We're so busy with life. We're so busy with business, right? Sometimes we forget what's important at home, which is our family, right? So that's amazing. Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you.
Clover and then Annie. Clover, what in 60 seconds, what inspired you again to share your story in the book?
What inspired me is that motivation. Anyone who reads my story, they'll be motivated by the way I started out. Growing up as a child, I was extremely shy. I would be on the church choir.
No, you're not shy. Look at it. You're not a journalist. You're on TV. How can you be shy?
Oh, God. But I push against that, and I try to get involved in public speaking. And even when I had doubt, I'd still go ahead and speak. And that's what got me to where I am. I motivate myself, and because I wanted to grow.
Wow. That self-motivation is important, right? As well. Yeah. Sorry, Clover, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm saying I motivated myself and pushed where I am today. So never give up. Yeah, stand out. Try to stand out of the crowd, right?
How do you do that? Like, how do you stand out in a crowd when everyone seems to be the same?
Well, as I said, I was extremely shy, so I forced myself to get into groups. I love a good debate, so I go into a debate group. I go to the meetings, and sometimes I go and I will not give a thought. I will not speak, but I'll be observing. But if I'm called upon, I would try to say something. And not until I went into the field that I'm in, I find out no one knows. So what I do, when I smile a lot, sometimes it's because I'm so shy, but I find when I put on a radiant smile, I project my voice and I speak from the heart. Yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
This is how I push against it. I get involved and I arise.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And again, if anybody's watching, please support our amazing authors here. Go to Amazon.com right now. Okay, so .ca, yes, if you're here at home, buy a copy as well. Where we really, I think, Mary, we really need a lot of help right now is we want to become international bestsellers. So if you have any friends in the US at all, tag them, call them, and have them buy a copy, right? They'll be inspired by the stories, but more important, you can be helping out all these amazing authors here. Annie, you are everywhere. We need to start a book, instead of Waldo, find Annie. Like, like Annie's in California, Annie's in here, like she's everywhere. Now you're in Asia. Annie, tell us a little bit more about, you and Clover, man, like 9 kids in each family. You guys could have each have a baseball team, right? And have a World Series against each other. And now you're co-authors together, right? Like, you guys are family. Is that amazing? Like, you guys are like a family with empowering women to succeed.
Yeah. So, like what I want to share with the audience is how I, through entrepreneurship, that's created the type of life that I would like to live in, and also making impact, like both achievement and fulfillment. So because it's the lived experience that I had in having 2 businesses, but each time it was because when my son was young, it was for him that as a single parent, I created a business to support the type of life that I wanted to have, a home-based business. And then the second, which I'm creating right now, is to live the life that I want as an empty nester. So I wanted to share with the audience this journey, and I hope to help them to choose the best life that they wanted to live, and how to get there through entrepreneurship. Thank you.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you. I want to welcome Annie here as well. And is it Hitika? Did I say your name correct?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And I apologize. Have you guys been sitting in the waiting room for a while?
No, it's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
Okay. I literally just realized that if I scroll down, there was 2 more people waiting. So my apologies for that. Annie, I just want to share something with you. You're in Hong Kong. I'm going to be in Hong Kong next month. So obviously you and I are going to go out for dim sum, right?
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to share with you is the power of being an author with the Empowering Women to Succeed series, right? Led by Annie and Randi, because you just never know, like Mary said to me earlier, off screen, the doors that can open up for you. And so a friend of mine said, could you bring this Rubik's Cube to someone in Hong Kong? Has anybody here played a Rubik's Cube? Know someone who's played a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys ever solved one? Anybody here solved one? Annie? Okay. So this individual is in Hong Kong, Annie, and I'm hoping when I go meet him, you can come, because I'll probably need a translator, right?
Oh,
so
you still speak Chinese?
I can't, even though I was born there, I grew up here. So he is blind. He's blind now, and he's a motivational speaker. And so during COVID, he thought, well, how can I help others who are feeling down, right? Because we all, doesn't matter whether we're blind or not blind, people are, mental health, mental wellness. So he thought, if I could teach individuals how to solve a Rubik's Cube in 3 minutes or less, it's going to help improve their self-confidence. It's going to help improve their self-worth, etc. So to make a long story short, in July 2022, in the room, they had about 300 people, individuals who were blind and individuals who weren't. They were blindfolded, and they broke the Guinness Book of World Records with over 300 people that solved the Rubik's Cube. So my goal is this: for July 2023, I would like to rally, Mary, I'm going to definitely get Variety Village involved.
Okay.
Right? Can you picture in that gymnasium, there's 300 people in that room.
Wow.
They're all blindfolded, and we solve the Rubik's Cube together. So my goal is, if anybody's interested, even if it's a single individual who wants to do this, I want to have 3,000 people, all of us worldwide. Deanna, let's say Nigeria. Wouldn't it be great if in Lagos there was a group that says, hey, right, let's get a group together, and together in July 2023, together we solve the Rubik's Cube, blindfolded together. We raise awareness for folks with disabilities that are blind. And perhaps we could even maybe raise some money for them at the same time. Annie, is that something that you think you could get excited about?
I wonder how they do it, like without seeing it, because I thought it's by the color. That's how you do the Rubik's Cube, right?
Well, if you look at this right here, so there's a gentleman locally here in Toronto. His name is Thomas, Crazy Thomas, he calls himself. He's always helping people, and he's got a 3D printing machine. And he actually printed these little things. I don't know if you can see this, that you can actually feel and touch.
Oh, he can feel. Okay. Feel the side. Oh, okay.
So anyways, that's what I love about that's what I love about Empowering Women to Succeed, because when you're not just an author, you guys, you're now part of a family. And some of the collaborations that you can create together, right? It's just absolutely incredible. If you want to buy a house, like now I know I can buy a house in Deanna, right? If I want to become financially free, I need to talk to Annie, because she is the financial doctor. Does that make sense, you guys? There's so much, you guys could conquer the world. Like, the leadership in this group is absolutely amazing. So again, we have a few more people to come on. For any of our friends who are watching, please go to Amazon.com right now. And if you're in Hong Kong, buy a copy as well, because all the sales in Hong Kong counts towards the .com. Okay? So if you know anybody in Hong Kong, you know anybody in the US, tag them, ask them for a favor, have them go to Amazon, buy a copy so they can actually help our authors become #1 bestseller. Okay, so let's welcome a few more of our authors. Hold on one second, you guys. This is why we need, my kids tell me I'm like a technical dummy, right? Let's go to Annie. Welcome, Annie. How are you?
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Gordon, for having set up this broadcast for our authors. Really appreciate your continuous support with Empowering Women to Succeed, and everything that we are able to do together as well, also for Landed for Success. So thank you again.
Thank you. Annie, I'm going to come back to you, because there's two other individuals that just joined us, Hitika, and who else do we have here? Let me see. Oh, Nicole. Nicole, how are you?
I am.
So let's jump to Nicole for a sec. Nicole, in 60 seconds, who's Nicole, and why did you decide to share your story in Empowering Women to Succeed?
Give me 1 second. Hello. So I am Nicole Odom-Hardentt. I am president and CEO of Focus Point Behavioral Health. I decided to share my story because I am a business person. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 12 years, and I just wanted to share my trials and tribulations of business. And for those individuals who are thinking of going into business, which I know after the pandemic, there are so many people who are thinking about going into business. And I wanted to share some of my highs and my lows and the struggles and the wins and the pitfalls and just everything about business and where I am now in business. So that's why I wanted to share my story.
Why do you think it's important for you to do that?
Because so many, I hear so many people say that I want to be an entrepreneur. And they think that it is such a glorifying experience, in which it can be a very rewarding experience. They just see, people traveling, and they, wake up when they want to, and they just see all of that side of being a business owner. But there is so much more to it. I have a son that says, "Oh, I'm going to pay myself $100,000." Okay. but what about the business?
Yes.
You don't automatically pay yourself $100,000 and the business isn't making any money.
Yes.
So I didn't start out with making, having a salary when I came into the business. I didn't pay myself until probably 2 years into the business. So people
talk about paying the price, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't get on payroll until 2 years after the fact.
That's amazing. Thank you, Nicole. We're going to come back to you, okay? Let's go to, and am I saying your name correct? Hitika?
You are, yes. Hi.
I apologize. Welcome. How are you doing?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why did you decide to share your story?
Well, I'm Hitika, and I am a spiritual coach, a transformation coach, and I help people basically lead them, guide them on their way to become their authentic version. And the reason why I shared my story was because for the longest period of my life, I have felt lost, and I have felt depressed and anxious. And I know so many individuals who have also felt that way in their lives. I know people, even though they are successful and, in monetary ways in their physical lives, but then they are still depressed. They are still lost on their journey. And so my chapter really goes out to all of these people who are lost in their lives and gives them tools and the ways that they can actually bring themselves back to their hearts, come back home. That is what I feel my chapter is about. It's like coming back home to yourself. So
wow, that's amazing. Coming back home to yourself. Love it. I want to welcome Luis Martinez. If you guys don't know Luis, he is, I call him the Spanish stallion. You know, they have like the Italian stallion. Luis is a young millennial. He's got the Luis Martinez show. He has a following in Mexico, here, obviously at home here in Toronto as well. So Luis, if you're watching and you want to interview any one of these amazing leaders here, these incredible women who have written and shared their story in leadership with Empower Women to Succeed, please let me know, and I'm happy to connect you with any one of them. Okay, actually, who would like to be interviewed by Luis Martinez as well? Anybody? Yes? Okay. Send me a message or send Annie a message, and I'm happy to connect you with Luis, and let's see if we can get you guys interviewed today or tomorrow. And we'll see if we can have more friends in the United States. You guys, if you're watching in the US, no friends, family, please have them go to Amazon, buy a copy now. Like, don't procrastinate, okay? If you drop off this call right now, go and buy your copy and come back. We won't be offended, okay? So, Annie, let's come to you for a minute. You have been such a huge help for me, for my businesses as well. And I just wanted to let the folks know how amazing you are. And tell us why. I mean, you're already successful. You're already interviewing and entrepreneurs and propping them up. Why are you still here writing a story and a chapter in this book?
That's a very valid question, Gordon, and I appreciate you asking it. So the truth of the matter of fact is the only thing that is constant is change. And I do believe in evolution. So as things are changing and we are changing and growing, we are learning through the journey. So I feel compelled to share, those learnings with others, because we don't function just in an individual bubble as such. We are all together. And that's why I so appreciate you and what you're doing for us and for others as well, because together we can create so much positive energy. And that's why I'm so excited about this book as well, because these are 16 people who are writing in it. And yes, Randi has a chapter, I have a chapter, but of course the other 14 authors have a chapter as well. And we all have our own positive message that we want to actually share with the world, so that we can create positive vibrations and we can uplift masses. So that is basically the whole reason. Okay, what are the stories? What are the messages that can motivate others to maybe snap out of a certain situation that they thought they are alone in there, but they're not, because we are all experiencing many similar things. And so once we know that others have overcome certain obstacles and they show the way how they overcome it, then that can actually create a better life for others as well. So I just love, what these books are doing, not only for our authors, but also for the people who put in the faith and the trust in us and give us the honor to purchase a copy and read the stories, and they resonate with them and they can better their lives.
Wow. Annie, before, we have somebody else who just, I believe, joined us. Sharna, thank you. And for the folks who were here earlier, Mary, Annie from Hong Kong, Deanna, who else was here earlier? There was a few folks here that were here earlier. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to have to shut this off, turn off that phone. Not taking that message, because the only people that are important today are you guys. So, and, again, for those of you guys who are watching, please, go to Amazon now. Don't procrastinate, okay? Buy a copy. In fact, buy 10 copies, you guys. Come on. Give them out to your friends and family, okay? These are individuals whose lives you can help impact. We're going to keep, again, this really informal. And if you can just share with us in 2 minutes who you are, why you decided to write the book, and then I'm going to circle back to you guys and have you maybe deep dive a little bit more into your reason for sharing your story in the book. Welcome, Sharna. I hope I said your name right, Sharna. Welcome. I believe you are muted.
Yes, you did. It's a pleasure having me. Yes, it's awesome to be in this wonderful, impactful book. And I'm just joyous to share my story, or my chapter 4, The Life of Victory, to the world. And as you mentioned, while you're watching, do not procrastinate. Go ahead and get this book, Leaders with Impact.
Wow. Sharna, you mentioned victory. Did I catch that? Victory, that's the theme of your book? Your chapter?
Yes, the chapter 4, The Life of Victory.
The Life of Victory. Why did you choose that theme?
I chose that theme because it did resonate with me and what I've been through. And without victory, there's no survival. Many a time you might look like everything is going well, you have it together, but behind the scenes, you're going through a lot of trials, tribulations, setbacks, and you overcome. Victory. Without victory, there's no survival. So, yes, and I even gave a few snippets in that about a few things that we're able to look into. How do you overcome? How do you live the life of victory?
I love that. So without victory, there's no survival. So for everyone that's watching, Sharna, I hope you don't mind, and all the authors as well. One of the things I love doing is after our interviews is I'll send it to our team, and they'll probably take maybe some of my favorite quotes that I'm learning from you guys, and then we'll use your picture, do a quote, and then we'll use it maybe for Instagram, right? So keep on throwing those nuggets out there for us, you guys. I'm going to go back to Hitika. Did I say your name correct, Hitika?
Yes, you did. Yes.
Awesome, Hitika. So let's hear more from yourself. What can tell us a little bit more about who you are? Who are you, and again, why do you think your story can be so impactful for other leaders?
I think coming from a childhood wherein I realized that I was very limited. I had this expansive soul and everything, but then I was very limited, and I have used all of it in that chapter to inspire people who have also come from a similar background, wherein they realize that they want to do so much in life, they have so much to offer, but then they are just holding themselves back for some reason or the other. And it takes a lot of courage and efforts to put yourself in the world like that, to take the steps that you're meant to take, to say yes to yourself. And that's what I am trying to spread the word out, that it's so joyful, it's so courageous, it's going to always reward you when you say yes to yourself rather than abandoning yourself. So that's why I am doing what I'm doing right now.
Wow. What do you mean by say yes to yourself?
Saying yes to all the things that fear you in a way, the steps that you, or the goals that you have set for yourself, but dimming your light just because to fit into the world that you're not meant to fit in is abandoning yourself. Why do you want to abandon yourself when there's so much of joy and love on the other side, when there's so much of joy and love in the uncomfortable situation, So that's what I mean by saying yes to yourself.
That's amazing. Let's jump over here. All right, we're back. How are you doing, Nicole?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Nicole, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. You heard stories from some of your other authors. Was there any, in your journey in writing your story, was there any other authors and your co-authors that kind of inspired and motivated you at all? Their stories?
I haven't had the opportunity to read any of the other authors' stories, but I'll tell you, I have worked with and had the privilege to meet Annie Haddock because we have been in another situation where we've worked together before. We have been co-authors in another compilation series before. So I've had the privilege of working with her before. So I know her work. We've been on several webinars together. So I am very inspired by her and the work that she does. And I am familiar with her business.
Nice. Now, you had mentioned earlier that you've been in business for 12 years.
Yes.
You're a business coach, but it wasn't until your second year that you started to pay yourself. I mean, that's a struggle. What would you say to other entrepreneurs that are just starting out right now?
So my chapter, I'm chapter 7, and the title of my chapter is Embrace the Power of the F Word. And my F word is focus.
Okay, I was going to say, Annie, are we allowed to use the F word on this interview? But
so I have a couple of F words that I use, but I chose focus for this one. I use faith. There's several other, but for this chapter, it's definitely focus.
I love that.
And, the power of focus, I call myself a serial entrepreneur. My husband and myself, we're both entrepreneurs. And, I have other companies, but my company, my primary company, I work with outpatient mental health and substance use. I have 4 clinics in Maryland. One in Maryland, 4 clinics in Maryland, and 1 that is opening in Tomball, Texas, which is where I actually reside. And
so you're in Texas.
I am in Texas.
Houston Arrows, world champions.
Yes, yes. So, and I am franchising. Okay. So those of you who would like to do good for the world and helping people with substance use and mental health, please find me and contact me because I am franchising. But the power of focus is amazing. And I wouldn't have gotten through those 2 years without paying myself, being on payroll, because most people live paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
And I came from that world of living paycheck to paycheck. But having the ability to reach my goals and setting goals allowed me to move beyond that.
That's amazing. Amazing. So Nicole, having known that you are now in the US, right? I would love to do another interview with you later today.
Sure.
Let's see if we get some of your friends and your contacts in the U.S. to help drive the series to #1 bestseller. From my experience, Annie and Randi, they've done such a phenomenal job with you guys already. The graphics, I'm like, man, I want you guys to do all my branding and graphics. It's incredible. But getting to #1 bestseller in Canada is easy because we're a smaller market here, but a lot of the authors are Canadian, right? So the struggle sometimes is trying to get it over the hump in the US, but you probably know more people combined by yourself and everybody else, maybe, in the group who are Canadian authors. So I would love to have a conversation with you on that. And already, as you're talking about mental health and mental wellness, there are so many amazing leaders in this group. Can you guys see yourself doing conferences that, that talks and reaches out to folks that have health and wellness issues? Can you guys see doing that?
I definitely can.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible. Now, you said focus. I love words. I see behind Sharna. I say that right. I see the word believe.
Believe. Yes.
Why believe? Napoleon Hill says, whatever mind a man can conceive and believe. Right?
All things.
So believe. Why believe?
That's because all things are possible to those who believe. If you can believe it, it is possible. It is possible.
Wow. So I know lots of people who believe and they're still broke, busted, and disgusted. So what are they missing?
Another F word, as she mentioned, focus. So it's faith, is having faith and not just having the faith. Again, moving forward as well. Faith without works is putting action to that F word as well. So believe and put in action is moving into what? So first you believe, then you have faith that yes, this is possible, and then moving. Any ad approach to me, we met on the set of the Nikki Clark show. She was promoting the last book, and she approached me, and I believed in this book and by faith, and then I moved with action in being one of the authors.
That's amazing. Wow, amazing. Well, I'm sure both Annie and Randi and the group, they're appreciative that you're definitely a part of this incredible series here. We have a few more people here. Nicole, welcome back. Welcome back. And for anybody who's watching, you guys, especially if you are friends with, who was in Maryland again? Nicole, right? Nicole, you're down in Maryland, right?
I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas. I'm jealous. The Toronto Blue Jays haven't won a World Series. I don't know for how long now. But if you're in Texas, you guys, right? Forget the big steak dinners you're gonna have tonight. Just go buy a copy of just grab a copy of the book on Amazon. Okay, so if you're watching, you guys, go to Amazon.com, buy a copy now. Don't procrastinate. The authors have done everything that they need to do, right? They've done it. Yes. Their story of authenticity. It is so hard, you guys, to share your story. I now have helped maybe 500-600 people become best-selling authors, and it wasn't until last year during the pandemic that I finally shared one of my stories in the book. Can you imagine? It took me that long. I was able to inspire other people to do it, but I could never bring myself to telling people, oh, this is me, right? So these individuals, these authors here are incredible. Henry, I don't know how you got to be one of the men in this incredible group of women leaders. You know how you did that. And for everybody that's here, I'm going to get to each one of you very shortly, and you're going to get 60 seconds to share who you are, why you decided to write in the book, and we're going to circle back for you to deep dive more into, again, your why for sharing your story in the book. Is that okay with everyone? Okay, so let's, why don't we do this? Usually they say ladies first, but today we're going to pick on Henry. Henry, tell us, why are you here, and why did you share your story in the book?
Hi, everyone. So Yeah, I'm lucky to be the only guy, but I didn't know that actually. I just happened to know Randi very well, and I was visited one of his exhibition, and the book came up, the idea, and I said yes, why not? So I come from Mauritius Island, east coast of Africa. I'm a new immigrant to Canada. I landed here in 2018. Just imagine with two pieces of luggage each, and
Wow.
that's it. So we had to. That's why I call my story a new beginning.
A new beginning.
Yeah. Presently, we know there's about 300,000 to 500,000 new immigrants to the country in Canada. And
Wow.
just imagine how lost they are. I can say they are lost, because if you are not a refugee, you like your hand is taken and brought to where you need to be. You go to the airport and you are given a stamp, and that's it.
And that's
Welcome.
it, right? Wow.
Welcome. And so that's how we landed in Toronto. We left a beautiful house, 6,000 square foot, beautiful life, and we say why we are here is because we wanted a better future for our daughters. We have 2 daughters, and we say why not send them to university in a beautiful country and where they can have larger opportunities, right?
Amazing.
So the family, we say husband, wife, let's go with them and let's accompany them and towards the journey, instead of just sending them alone. And we say, let's sell the house, sell everything, and move here. Yeah.
Wow. So it's like you guys burned the ship, right, and never look back. Well, Henry, I'm an immigrant kid myself. If nobody's ever said this to you, welcome to Canada.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much. It means a lot. It means a lot. And I just swear in as Canadian citizen a few weeks ago.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yes. And thank you. And we are very happy, and the family is very happy.
That is absolutely amazing. Well, we have 2 other new people that have joined us. Henry, we're going to come back to you as well as everybody else. We've got Judy, and we also have Nancy that's joined us. So Judy, share with us who you are and why did you choose to share your story?
Thank you. So my name is Judith. The reason why I wanted to share my story is because it's very much aligned with who I am and the mission that I have for my future. So, in a nutshell, I'm started a police officer, I'm a business coach, and I'm a business owner. So it meant a lot for me to share my story and my experiences with you.
Wow. Everyone tries to take 5-10 minutes. You were so quick. That was like a really good elevator pitch, you guys, don't you think? I don't mean an elevator pitch, but so how long have you been a business coach?
Sorry, I could go on and on and on and on.
We are very informal here, right? We're ready, and he said, you know, how are you going to do the interview? It's going to be very informal, right?
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll come back to you, okay, Judy? But let's go to who do we have here? We have here we go. Nancy, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Nancy, tell us a little bit about yourself and why did you choose to share your story here?
Well, my name is Nancy, and I chose to be in the book because I thought it was important to share that overcoming hurdles and challenges can be daunting, but it can also be really fun if you approach it in the right attitude. So my chapter is chapter 5, and my chapter is called Changes, Transitions, and Leaps of Faith. And it encompasses my journey up till this point in my life, from all the changes and transitions I've had, both from a personal perspective and a professional perspective, and challenges and changes that happened to me both by choice and some that were just thrown at me and learned to embrace them and learn from them and grow from them.
Wow. And why do you think that's important to learn?
Because most people, when they hear the word change, it's not something that resonates well with them on a comfort level. A lot of people find that change can be difficult, but if you learn to approach it with the right attitude and think of it as something new and exciting, something that you can create, something that you can evolve, something that will help you and help others along the way, then it tends to have a totally different aspect to it, and it helps people embrace it rather than run away and hide from it.
That's amazing. Thank you. Before we welcome Cheryl, before we get to Cheryl, I'm going to go back to Annie for a minute. Annie, a few of the folks mentioned the F word, and for a minute I thought, okay, as a host, are we allowed to talk about the F word here? Somebody said focus. What was the other word?
Sharna said faith.
Faith. Mm-hmm. And I know you're the financial doctor. Why do you think that's so important for people to get their finances in order?
It's a very good question, Gordon. And even though my chapter is not about a financial education, because that's something that I'm super happy to take, offline with the individual so that we can create something that is their individualized situation and discuss it. But in general, this is what I notice, and this is why I am in this field. Finances tend to be over-mystified, even though they are quite simple, actually. And because they're over-mystified, people are afraid of them. They're afraid of asking questions. It's never properly taught in school. And so they are flying blind. Now, how are you creating your wealth?
That's another F word.
Right?
That's another F word, right? Flying blind.
Yes. So are you creating your wealth if you're not understanding wealth creation principles and if you don't know what are the steps that you need to take? And many people think finance, okay, it's just investments, but there's way more to it. There is real estate, there is insurance, there is businesses that allow you to leverage your time, because that's the only commodity that you can never get back. Once it's done, it's done. So how are you ultimately leveraging your time and create more of what you have? And that's the principle that I'm teaching. And I think this is important for people to hear. Now, this is not in this particular book, but whoever wants to meet with me separately, I'm extremely happy to sit down and have a discussion around it. So finances, also because someone else was talking about, through the coaching in terms of mental well-being, there's a lot of fear out there, and there's a lot of uncertainty and anxiety. So if we can take at least one aspect out of it, that can help people to really focus on creating their reality, creating positive vibrations and sharing it with the world. So I believe that, having a proper financial education can help on a lot of other fronts as well to create a better world for all of us to enjoy.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Annie. Louise Martinez from the Louise Martinez Show just asked, where can people buy a copy of the book? So I'm going to ask Hitika. Hitika, if your friends are watching right now, and before we bring in Dr. Cheryl, Hitika, where can somebody buy a copy of the book today?
Well, people can always go to Amazon and just type Leaders with Impact. In Canada, we are on the #1 category, so please go ahead and get some. Yes. In India, my friends who are watching, I would love your support. All the women here would love your support. So please go ahead on Amazon.in and order it right away. And yes, yeah, that's
Amazon.in, right? Yeah,
Amazon.in.
So many friends over in India, you guys, like India, Sri Lanka, like don't buy a copy, like share, tag your friends, right? Don't spam them, right? Just send them a simple little message, right? Hey, how's it going? Right? And then when they say boo, if they stick up their head and say, by the way, friends of mine, group of us, we're launching a new book. Could you help out our little book and help it to get to bestseller, right? Today, we have a special discount. And if you can just go buy a copy and help us get to bestseller, that'd be absolutely amazing. Awesome. Okay. So let's bring on our new guest. And I'm going to say, welcome, Doc.
Hello there. How is everyone? This is a piping day. This is a hot day.
Yes. So share with us in 60 seconds, who are you and why did you decide to share your story in the book?
So my name is Cheryl Ivanski, and I am a enlightened life learner who's always wanting to grow personally and professionally, because, you know, people who need people are the luckiest people in the world. That's one of the quotes in the book. And you know what? I'm just really happy to be able to be one of those people who's open-minded to receive as well as to give. And there's just so much needed. And I think our empowerment comes through how we feel about ourselves and how we feel in the world. So what I'm about is empowering people through their best health.
Wow. Empowering people to the best health?
Yes. So looking at individual people's healths and looking at where they are in the scale with however they're feeling, whatever challenges or issues they may have, helping them break through where they are now so that they can live empowered by whatever's in their way or whatever challenges that they have, and having them be vibrantly successful despite them or in face of them. So I have a niche market, which is all about the immune system and diabetes. So I help people live, for instance, a diabetes-free lifestyle.
Wow. Wow. So if somebody has diabetes, is there still a chance for them?
If people have diabetes, is there?
So if somebody has diabetes, can you help them get rid of that, or is it just control?
Well, let's look at how I word this. Living the diabetes-free lifestyle allows people to live with targeted blood sugars 95 to 100% of the time. And it's taken me many decades to be able to create that 4-step proprietary system that works every time like clockwork. So as someone living with diabetes and coming from generations of family with diabetes who have not been so successful, and so many people out there are suffering unnecessary consequences, it's all about let's call ourselves into what's possible, because all we know about is what's not possible. Let's just put that over here, because if we're living the diabetes-free lifestyle, guess what? We have a whole new lease on our future, and we have a whole new lease on life. So I've been living a diabetes-free lifestyle where doctors told me it was impossible, and specialists did too. So now when I'm showing all my results, they have to take blood tests twice and 3 times because they can't believe it. So now I'm amazing change for people, and they can do the same thing.
So you've experienced this yourself. You've been able to overcome it and help other people how to do that. So that's lovely, right? Documentation.
Absolutely. We have a couple thousand cases at this point of successful people being able to do that for themselves and others. So now it's about making this a global effort.
Amazing. Thank you. We're going to come back to you. I'm going to jump over to Judy for a minute. Welcome back, Judy. Judy, what is your last name?
Tait.
Tait. Okay. My apologies.
T-A-I-T. Yeah.
T-A-I-T. No, that's okay. So, Judy, let's deep dive a little bit more. Like, tell us a bit more about yourself. Like yourself, and again, why do you think your story, why did you share your story? Why is it important? Like, who are you, and why was it important for you to share?
Because I want to show women what's possible for themselves in their lives.
Okay, hold on. Us guys need it too. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I'm always so jealous that the empower women to succeed is so amazing, right? I'm just kidding there. Yeah. Right. But yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Sorry. It's so weird because I can't see you. I can just see myself. So I just want to, and I have to really think about what I'm saying, because I think, well, first of all, I just want to say, like, I know men need the guidance as well, but it's really, really important for me. Oh, okay. That's better. Now I can see you. It's really, really important for me to connect with women and show them what's possible for themselves and for their lives. And it's important because I feel that women just kind of need that extra help, motivation, encouragement, only because we can be so hard on ourselves, and we often don't see in ourselves what others see in us. So just letting women, or just showing women what's possible, helping them to believe in themselves, believe in their abilities, and just to gain that confidence. Also, it was important for me to share my story just because of my experience being a police officer for 25 years. It would really bother me to see women remaining in unhealthy situations, unhealthy relationships, because they feel that there's no other way. So they'll stay in like an abusive relationship because, say, their partner, whether it be a boyfriend's husband, whatever, their partner is the breadwinner, and they've got to take care of themselves and their kids. And it breaks my heart to see that, because it doesn't have to be that way, right? I believe that every woman should be able to take care of themselves and take care of their kids, regardless of whether they have a partner or not. If anything should happen to their partner, if they should go through, a breakup, a divorce, I believe that we should always be able to take care of ourselves and our children, because that's what my mom taught me, and that's what I taught my daughter. And the way to do that, even if you don't have, because women say, I have no skill, I can't do this, I can't go and get a job. We all have something, we all have a skill, we all have gifts, and you can create a business for yourself and create that life that you want for yourself and your children. So it was really important for me just to share my story. And my story started, like, it was kind of all over the place, but it really started from the age of 21 when I became a single mother. And, at the time, I was 21 years old. And, I became a single mother, and I had this little baby, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to give her everything that she wants? And just to sum it all up, I made sure that I got into a career that I actually wanted to do from the time I was 5. I had always wanted to be a police officer. So I made that happen. And at that moment, like, I knew that we were going to be okay. And with my career, from which taught me so many lessons, I was able to provide for myself and my daughter. And then, later on, when I missed an opportunity to get into the canine unit at my job, I decided that I was just going to start my own dog walking and pet sitting business. And that's how I got into business. And I turned that business into a 6-figure business within the first 3 years. And then I realized, like, I really want to teach everything that I've learned to other women. So that's how I became a business coach. And then I started doing public speaking, and then it's just kind of blown up from there. So I really wanted to share my story just so women can see that it is possible. It's possible to be a single mother and have a career, to be a single mother and to start a business, and to just to business in general, regardless of, like, even if you're working. I wanted women to see that it's possible that you can, have a career and have a business on the side.
Wow.
So
what a great story. What a great inspiration. I want to jump in there for a sec, Judy. You just sparked something for me. So I tagged a friend of mine, Lester Bailey, who's in the US. So I encourage you guys, if you know anybody in the US, tag them, let them know that they can actually go to Amazon.com right now and buy a copy of the books to support the authors, the bestseller. And why I thought of that was Lester Bailey is a 30-year retired police officer from Chicago. And nice. He is actually a co-author. Henry is, one of the men who's in Land for Success. So I don't remember which volume, but Lester Bailey was actually one of the men who was a co-author in Empower Women to Succeed. And so he's protected 2 U.S. presidents. Can you imagine? Like, he's actually bodyguard for 2 U.S. presidents. You mentioned about motivational speaking. Some of you, I'm sure we all know, like Maya Angelou, right? He's bodyguard for Maya Angelou. He's bodyguard for some incredible individuals, but more importantly, he's a part of the Empowering Women to Succeed family. He's in the US, so I just tagged him. Lester, please purchase a copy as a favor, purchase a copy today and share that with all your friends down in Chicago, Phoenix, I mean, everywhere, right? I've been fortunate, I mentioned earlier, you guys, with all the authors here, you can create collaborations with each other as well. You know, Lester and I just created a series called The 10 Keys to Success, the Wealth Formula, that we're marketing throughout India right now. So it's so amazing for some of you who may be watching right now. You're thinking, how could I tell my story? How could I share my story? I don't know how to do that, but I want to be an author. If you're thinking of that, you know, talk to one of the authors here. Talk to Annie, talk to Randi, because I'm sure they have like other amazing series that are coming up, and they have an incredible live in-person book launch coming up in December as well. So I recommend you guys come out. If you're a friend of any of the authors, bring your families, you guys, right? And like, get an autographed copy. Get an autographed copy. Like the authors will have writer's cramp because there'll be so many people that are just wanting the picture taken with their authors and an autographed copy. But so if you guys are interested in becoming an author and want to collaborate with all these other amazing authors, please reach out to one of our authors and Annie as well. So the next part, I want to again keep it really informal. We have Nancy, who's here. We have Henry, and then we have Doc. I'm just going to open this up right now, and let's keep it really informal. Who's the next person that would like to jump in and maybe share a little bit more about yourself and your chapter, your story in the book?
Well, I can go ahead if that's okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy.
Just because I have to duck out in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Because I have to go see a client. So as I mentioned, my chapter is on changes, transitions, and leaps of faith. So a little bit more about my background. I grew up in a small town and moved to the big city when I was 17. I worked in 5 different industries. I started out in manufacturing and then moved into food service. I worked in healthcare. I worked in the staffing and HR industry, and I currently work in the technology industry. I've been in the sales environment for about 25 years. And a lot of those changes came out of the blue, but a lot of them were chosen by me. One instance, I actually quit a job without having a job. I had no clue where my next paycheck was coming from. I lived on my own, and I just knew the job I was in just wasn't doing it for me. I wasn't happy. I needed to make more money, but the culture wasn't jiving with my personal lifestyle and what I wanted to create for myself. So I just literally jumped out in leaps of faith. There's that F word again. With no strings attached and hope for the best. And it was probably the most liberating thing I've ever done. What made it more ironic is at the time I lived with a lady, and what I didn't realize is that she was expecting a baby. So when I told her I quit my job, she wasn't exactly happy, because at that point she needed to tell me, oh, well, by the way, you need to move because I need your room for the baby that's coming. So now I have to find a job and a place to live at the same time. So my thought was, well, I currently currently have a place to live. I currently don't have a job. Let's focus on that first. So I put myself out there, and it was through a networking opportunity where I landed a position through a company that is a massive company within the HR world, and went on and made a great success of that. So, and then there's been other changes that have come out of left field, and some that I chosen that really were just, I just looked at everything that, you know what, this is another opportunity to learn and grow and expand, because that's what we're all here to do. And if my journey can help somebody, others have the grit and determination and perseverance to go out there and grab life by the tail, then I'd love to be able to help them do that and support them along the way in their journey.
Wow, that's amazing. Nancy, thank you for sharing that. I know you have to run.
Yes.
So if there was a final thought that you could leave with some of the folks that are watching the replay, what would you say to them?
I would say listen to your heart, trust your gut and your instincts, because somehow they always know what's right for you.
Wow. Say that again. That is so powerful.
Listen to your heart, trust your gut, and I forget the next part. Listen to your...
It's all right. We got to record it. We got to record it. I love that. Trust your gut.
Trust your instinct.
Trust your instincts, because somehow they always know what's right for you.
Yeah, love that. Nancy, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Annie, Randy, my heart goes out to you. You're the mastermind behind all of this. And thank you for bringing such a collaboration of wonderful people together. I would never have met any of you without Annie and Randy. So hats off to both of you. You are the masterminds behind all of this.
Thank you, Nancy.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you,
Take care,
Annie.
everyone. Love you all.
Thank you, Nancy.
Bye for now.
I want to say thank you to Wendy Bear for watching from California as well. Wendy is actually a co-author with you guys in Empowering Women to Succeed as well. So she's also an author in one of the Empowering to Succeed series. So Wendy, California, do you guys, Wendy knows everybody, you guys. I would reach out to her. Like, she has so many people she knows in the US. Wendy, if you could do us a favor, purchase a copy today, tell your friends about it. That would be absolutely amazing. Great. So we have, we're going to have a duel to see who's going to go next. Henry Lou or Cheryl?
Okay, if you don't mind.
One? Henry, okay.
Yeah. So F word, right?
Yeah.
So mine, I would say just French, because I'm a French speaking first before English. And I studied in France architecture. That's my background. I specialize in property, real estate development. And when I came to Canada, I mean, before I come, I had like over 100 employees and 30 staff doing construction and development. And coming here is like, as we say, a new beginning, but basically is that how do we come to Canada as a new immigrant without taking a 9-to-5 job? That was the question. Because I was having a quite high pay, high earning, and what's the point of coming here and work for too little, let us put it that way. So I was asking myself, and I've been asking myself for the first year, how to do that. So I've been searching a lot, going to a lot of real estate meetings, paying a lot of costs to attend to these meetings too, and seeing how the North America is working on investment. So my goal was how to reach somewhere that I would be no need to work, but just an investment will bring me the income. So of course, when I came, I go to the bank, and my friend know which bank, and they say, what is your salary? Where are you working? What is your employment? What is your T5 or T4, whatever? So I had zero everywhere, zero score, whatever, because where I come from is not the score, is that who knows who, and the CEO of the bank will open the door for me. I just so easy, and they will send their private banker and deal done, right? So I had to create all this, and then basically my strategy, and which I applied, is investing in real estate first, and then I discovered private lending. So today I'm doing only these two, so real estate investment and private lending, and so real estate we are doing like long-term rental, like normal multifamily, small ones. And we are doing short-term rental, which is for like Airbnb, vacation rental. Presently, right now, I'm in Nova Scotia, which is, I'm looking at the ocean, actually. Speaking to you, right?
Nice.
I was in Toronto.
So you're there now. You're in Nova Scotia now. Where are you in Nova Scotia?
And about 45 minutes outside Halifax on the eastern shore.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I love Bridgewater. I used to go down to Bridgewater every summer when I was a teenager.
Yeah, Bridgewater is nice. Lunenburg, yeah.
Lunenburg County.
Yes.
Oh, great memories.
Yeah, so here we have a bed and breakfast lodge, and we have 10 cabins, like cottages, and we are just expanding. We this year itself we came here in March, and 1 week after we bought a piece of land next door, which is 2 times bigger, to double up the number of units. And right now we're just closing on 2 more houses on the waterfront. The purpose is to welcome people to stay with us and enjoy the Nova Scotia and what it has to offer. But then we also do private lending. So private lending for us is really passive investment. I'm doing actually like over 7 figures. And we are just investing with flippers, so people who need money to flip a house.
Got it.
And we do financing for people who are just doing bridging loans. That means people who are selling a house and buying a new house. Sometimes they need the deposit money, or they need some kind of money to be able to do the deal. So we are just after the bank and helping them achieve their dreams. We also do investment with some developers we know, and buying land and developing the land.
Love it. So forget the bank. Just go talk to Henry Lou.
Yeah, basically that's my everyday life, and it's quite interesting and amazing. Yeah, we have been blessed.
Amazing. So Henry, let me ask you this. So for the folks who are watching, if they buy a copy of the book today, they can grab a copy of Leaders with Impact on Amazon, and they send in the receipt. Can they get a special discount when they stay at your cabin?
Not a problem at all. We are welcoming everyone, and all of you, of Gophers and Gordon, of course. Thanks so much. You are all welcome at my place.
Maybe there should be a book launch, like a book retreat for the authors down in Nova Scotia with Henry.
I like the idea.
Yeah, we might put a book in each cabin and each place we have guests, so that they can see all of you, right?
That would be so amazing. Well, thank you, Henry. We're going to get back to you. I love real estate. I've been in the real estate mortgage industry for over 30 plus years, so I love everything you're talking about. Cheryl, let's come back to you, because Henry's talking about wealth. And someone once said to me, your health is your wealth, right? So it's so important to have both. There's people who have wealth, but they have no health. And there's people who have health and have no wealth. And you are so amazing at, teaching people how to have better health. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that?
No, absolutely. And thank you for asking. And Henry, thank you. I speak your language too in that arena. So I'd love to talk to you some more. So, right. You can have all the money in the world. And I'm sorry, there's fire testing here at the business office. So sorry about the background noise. So, so you can have all the money in the world. And if you don't have your health, you can't enjoy that. You can't utilize that for lifestyle. So I think the last few years, and I'd love to see your thumbs up, if you agree that, and if anything has shown us anything in the past few years, would you all agree that your health is like the most important thing? Would you all agree with that? Yeah, we have one body. We have one body. We have one set of eyes. We have one set of legs. We have, one organ, and in our bodies for each of the types of organs and systems that we have. So we've really got to take great care of our bodies. And, we don't recognize in everyday life the things that challenge us sometimes until our bodies break down or symptoms show up. And, it's kind of like your financial wealth. You got to plan for it. You've got to prepare for it. You need to be able to do things that fill and like if it was a bank account, as we understand bank accounts, we have bank accounts with our health. We have health accounts inside of our bodies, and we need to replenish those with good energy so that our bodies always stay healthy. So I believe our health is our wealth. But the other side of it too is you want to have a great lifestyle. You want the health and the wealth, but you can't get the wealth without the health. So that's my motto. And the other thing about it is sometimes, as individuals, we take our health for granted, not realizing it. And I was one of those people as a workaholic and being invincible, feeling invincible when I was younger. And then one day, you know, something can just happen and your life can change in a second. And that actually happened for me. And it really stopped me. And I really thought I was invincible. And at the young age of 30, life would have it.
What do you mean? I thought you were still 30.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, you know, at the age of 30, actually, I don't know if you know this story, Gordon, but I was actually giving a keynote presentation to a group of health professionals. And as I'm done walking back to my exhibit, you know, doesn't my tongue freeze? Doesn't the cold sweats just run down my chest? And don't my knees like buckle from under me? And I am flat on the ground and everything's black. And at the age of 30 in the prime of your life, you know, imagine waking up days later from a coma and you don't even know you're in one. Like, does that not blow your mind?
It's incredible.
It just blows your mind. And, you know, blowing out an organ from exhaustion without recognizing that that's what's happening, and not one but two, that gets your attention, you know. And it redirected my focus to, you know, you need balance. And, you know, you can't drive your body like a machine and not recognize the harm that's happening. So, you know, those life lessons, you know, show up every day for me. Gord, you might be aware of this. Annie, I think you're aware of this. But, you know, does anyone here know how serious that exhaustion can be?
So what exhaustion?
Does everyone know how serious exhausting or an organ or your body can be?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, people can have heart attacks. They can have so many things happen. But I'll show you here, if you don't mind. I wear a medical device that keeps me alive 24/7. And that's a result of not recognizing what the body needs as it needs it. So it's one of those things that teaches you, or teaches me, how to embrace the best of traditional medicine and the best of preventive medicine, and to give myself an integrative approach to living vibrantly well and not miss a beat. So my health has been a teacher, and it teaches me life lessons. And speaking of, you know, great offerings, Gord, you were just talking to Henry about, you know, if someone's going to come to an Airbnb, is there a special? Can I share a special here?
Yeah, sure. Right.
Well, I'm inviting, you know, this is Global Diabetes Month, November, all around the world. And so Global Diabetes Day is Monday, November the 14th. So I'm having my team and I share free education with a free masterclass on Monday, and throughout the month of November, offering free tips and strategies for the whole month. So if anybody wants free information and wants to join us for a free masterclass, we're also going to gift those who registered this week a copy of that free of that book, free for the first 10 people. So lots of free stuff. So, you know, if people want to come to Holistic Diabetes Solutions, you can see it here in the back, or when they buy the book and they want to show their receipt, they'll get an additional free gift from us here at Holistic Diabetes Solutions to help support your best health.
Absolutely. Well, that's amazing, Cheryl. What I love about you know, all the authors here is they all have a special set of skills or talent or superpower that they can bring together. And I know, you know, both Annie and Randi have created this platform where your stories are important. It's going to inspire a lot of people. But if you're watching, I've also seen people buy a copy of the book and then actually reach out to some of the authors individually. So if you want to reach out to Cheryl and learn more about what she does, what she's doing, by all means, you know, please do that. Because, you know, Annie, would you agree, maybe you could share with some of the folks that may be watching, like, why would someone even want to share their story in the book? Because when I was told, some people, that's all they want to do is just share their story, nothing else. That's their passion. And then some people want to leverage their book as a tool to build their business. And could you, in 60 seconds or 2 minutes max, talk about that, and then we'll jump to Judy. Would that be okay?
Absolutely, and thank you for asking, Gordon. So you are also in the book publishing business. In fact, what some people might not know, you and Randi created Empowering Women to Succeed. I merely, took an already warm seat, and thank you for that, by the way.
Thank you,
Annie. you're amazing, and you know that. And I love the collaborations that we are all doing together and making a difference in the world. But why would anyone want to write? And I think that's a very valid question. And it's, if I can just speak from my perspective first, as, a multi-author, I believe 7 books are out there under my name. But then I also will be adding to it as the co-publisher of Empowering Women to Succeed. What was very, very interesting, that I was already extremely successful as the financial doctor. And it was actually my clients who dubbed me the financial doctor back in 2018. And I was nominated for so many different awards, including the Toronto Waterfront Awards in the business category. And one day, the idea just came to me. There's so much that I have to share that the people don't know, because there's so much information, and not just about the finance, but more about the mindset, if anything else, that can actually help with everything else, that can help put your health on the track, that can help put your wealth on the track, and everything else, relationships, whatever we heard from our authors, right? And exactly the same day, I was actually speaking at the Wealth Summit, which is also one of Randi's events. In fact, I believe Cheryl and I were literally beside each other with our booths. And that's when someone approached me like, you know what, your story is so powerful. You really should be writing a chapter or a book. And I said, yeah, I was actually thinking about it today. So my first instinct was, okay, how can I really spread the message in a more efficient and effective way so that it can reach masses, as opposed to just me being the one person in one location talking and educating people? Like, how can we be more efficient about this and spreading, positive mindset, positive vibrations and good out there, so that people can take action and create the life that they deserve. But then, interesting enough, once the book came out, not only has it inspired and motivated people, which was actually my first and foremost goal, but they started reaching out to me, because, believe it or not, it's very interesting. I'm coming from Europe. You can hear from the accent, I wasn't born here. And here in North America, what I find interesting is that as soon as you are able to put beside your name, you're an author, let alone an international bestseller, you suddenly gain prominency. People now really want to hear what you have to say, not because your message has changed, but because the perception is that because now you have this title, you are an authority in your field. And what I personally prefer about Empowering Women to Succeed, amongst anything else that I participated in, to be honest, that we really focus on inviting authors in our book who are already in their field, authorities. So basically, we are not just creating a perception, but we are just emphasizing and amplifying them and their message so that the masses can really hear them. And what it does then to their business, you know what? Kudos to everybody, because you deserve it. You deserved it before, and you deserve it even more because you created so much good for others. So specifically for Empowering Women to Succeed, our authors have the privilege to also work with an award-winning PR person, because they are our authors and because it's part of our package, so that they can amplify their business as well. Because we believe that you're giving, you should be getting. So that's my 2 cents. And I believe I went over your 2-minute mark, but sorry.
Well, that was amazing. Does anybody want to add to, Judy, do you want to add to maybe what Annie just said at all about the benefits of being an author?
Well, yeah, but first I want to say how much I just love Annie. Like, I just think, I think she's amazing, and everything that you're doing. I'm just, I really just admire you and respect you for your passion for who you are and for making things like this possible. My platform is to give women or well, basically to give women an opportunity to speak, but you're doing the same thing. And I think that's why, you know, we jive so well and get along so well, because you're doing it on a greater scale. So thank you so much for being you. Yes. And yeah, for the benefits of being an author, I really believe that it's like a big business card. And as was mentioned before, like there's so many, you can use it for so many different reasons, like to boost your business, just to get your name out there, to give you that credibility. It's nice even just to put it in your email signature, because it, as Annie said, like it just gives you that, I think prominence was the word that you used. And it makes people see you in a, like a different light. I don't want to say like a higher light, but just in a different light. And as I mentioned, like the credibility piece. And that's really, really important when you're out there and you're trying to really connect with your niche audience. People want to see like who you are, what you've accomplished, and what you're about. And if you have a book where people can actually read your story, that's even better. It's even better than just like a simple bio that they might see somewhere. Yeah. They can actually see your story and really connect with you on that personal level. So I think it's really important to do it at least once. This is the second book project that I've done, but I think it's something that everyone should do at least once.
Well, it's great to see you back in the third one too.
Sorry, it's great to see you back. What?
It's going to be great to see you back in the third book.
Oh, okay. I'll see you there.
But you're so right, Judy. Somebody could, you are an amazing business coach, let's say. So someone's going, hey, please welcome to the stage, right? Business coach Judy Tait. Now they can say, hey, please help me to welcome to the stage. She's a top sought after business coach and a #1 international best-selling author. Help me welcome to the stage. Put your heads together, Judy Tait. Doesn't that sound way better?
Yay, I love it.
Hey, right?
Yeah, it's good. I love
Cheryl,
it.
How many books have you been a bestseller with?
I have 8 international best-selling books and an additional 6 best-selling books, a Quilly, and 2 global author books.
You have a library.
I have a library. So there's a few. I think this is 15 maybe at this point. Yeah.
That's absolutely.
And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have amazing publishers. And just to add what was just being said, you know what? I think that books give people an opportunity, and what it does for me, it gives me an opportunity to be uncensored, to speak from the heart, and allow people to hear things in a way that they might not if they weren't taking the time to read it, so that they can be with it in their own way. So it's really about inspiring and allowing people to hear things uncensored from the heart. So that's what's important to me, because the impact for other people, that's when it impacts other people, when it's
okay. So hold on for a minute. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. First, somebody talked about F words on here. Now you're talking about uncensored. Well, what do you mean by uncensored?
What I mean, like if you, sometimes when other things are being written for you, or you're part of the thing and you have a specific question that you're being asked that you're answering, sometimes then not all of the information that you want to put into context is included. So it's a piece of something. And when you're writing, you have an opportunity to give an analogy and to give, for instance, and to express yourself so that how you want your message to be shared is actually delivered in the way that you'd like, so that it can resonate the way that, it has that added value. So it's not like just a question or 2 questions or something fielded. It's an actual ability to be self-expressed and to be heard in the way that you want it to be delivered. So that's what I love about it, because then it's in its complete context. Would anyone agree?
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. I want to just acknowledge Louise. He asked, is it volume 2? No, it's volume number.
So it is number 7 at this point.
Oh, number 7, sorry.
Number 7. But I'm glad that you brought up volume 8, because we are already working on the continuance of legacy, which was last year, and that's going to be perseverance. And we are also working on the volume 2 of this type of hardcover coffee table book, where we are showcasing leaders. And this is untitled yet, but again, continuance of this theme of really featuring leaders. And we are hoping to launch that next year as well.
Love it. So for Louise, volume 7, and congratulations on volume 8 coming up. Anybody who wants to be a bestseller in volume 8, please reach out to Annie. Thank you, Chief Lester Bailey, who's also a author in Land for Success. He's here right now. 30 plus years, retired police officer. And he's actually now I'll see all those likes from Chief Bailey out of Phoenix, Arizona. Now, Chief Bailey is the VP of Empowerment for Dirt Merchant Films, which is a massive organization around the world now. So Chief Bailey, please share, and have all your friends in the US. What's better than one Bailey?
2 Baileys.
2 Baileys, right? Please tell all the Baileys in the US to go buy a copy of, I'm so used to saying another book's name, right? But it's Leadership.
Leaders with Impact.
Leaders with Impact, sorry. Leaders with Impact, and empowering women to succeed. Well, we're almost at the end of our hour here. So what I would love to do, if that's okay with each and every one of you, to take 1 or 2 minutes to your final words, like your final words for somebody who's watching, whether it's about your story, the book. Why should they go and buy a copy of the book on Amazon today? So why don't we start with, since he's living a life of luxury in Nova Scotia right now, let's start with Mr. Henry Liu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Gordon, Randi, Annie, and all the team so much for having us and organizing all the efforts for being number 1, right? Best-selling. I was just saying before that I featured in over 100 articles, magazines, interviews, TV shows, but I never featured in Canada. That's why I had to be in a book here, and that's why I chose your book. Because,
congratulations, there's always a first, right?
Thank you. Because when coming to Canada, no one knows you, right? You can be the brightest person outside, but no one knows you here in the territory. So that's why I chose to be part of the team, and I'm blessed to have been accepted in the book and to participate. And for all those new immigrants, if you have any doubts about coming to Canada, no question, just come, and there's so much opportunities to do here and to grow, and I'm sure your family will be safe here and have a bright future. And for all the co-authors, I wish you all the best. I have been looking at whatever your career, and really it's inspiring. Not only to women. Why only women? We're inspiring to all men and women around. So you are all doing a great work, and I congratulate you for that. Yeah, I look forward meeting you maybe on the 6th December for the in presence launch in Vaughan in Toronto. So maybe I hope to be there. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Liu. So all right, Cheryl, we'll go to Cheryl, Judy, and then we're going to let Annie wrap up, okay? Cheryl, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I think it's a great book for people to get because you have over 16 authors that are coming from completely different backgrounds, completely different life experiences, who are actually pouring their hearts into the book and being real with real life. And if someone wants to be inspired, if someone wants to be motivated, if someone wants to give a gift to someone who already has everything, this is the perfect gift to give, because it is a cross-section of 16 people who are kicking butt in the world and making impact in life and in other people's lives.
Love it. What do you give somebody who's got everything?
Book.
A book.
Yeah. An impact book.
Leadership with Impact. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Judy.
Okay, I think everyone should go out and buy this book because number one, I think it's important to support small businesses and small business owners. And also because the stories in this book, like I was just so impressed by the caliber of women in this book. And if you're looking for motivation, inspiration, read this book and, read all our stories and find who you most identify with. You just never know. I tell people it's really, really important to share your story because we all have a gift to share and you just don't know who you're going to help. So you don't know what's going to happen. If you read someone's story, it can really motivate you and inspire you to start that next business or get out of a rut. So it's really, really important that I think everyone picks up the book. If you don't want to read it, buy the book to gift someone. Christmas is coming up, so buy a whole stack of them and give it to someone who it'll help.
Okay, then let me add my 2 cents while Gordon is finding us again. Oh, there's Randi. Hey, how are you, girlfriend? Okay, so now we have the birth mother of the series on the line as well. So why anyone should be picking up this book? And I think everyone said already everything that we wanted to say because there are amazing leaders who are everyday heroes who are part of this compilation. People who actually went through adversities, but they also learned from it. They pivoted and they basically have grown. And they're sharing their journey so that those who are reading the stories, they don't have to go the long scenic way to find their ways, but they already have the blueprint where someone else is able to guide them and show them that it's possible. They can overcome whatever it might be, and they can come out as winners. Huge inspiration, huge motivation, and we want to create a tsunami of good out there, good vibrations, positive attitude, positive mindset. And we believe that everyone deserves to win. So please pick up a book and change your life by reading the stories and by changing your life with the motivation and inspiration that these stories are giving to you.
Couldn't have said it any better. Okay, good night. That's awesome, everybody. Thank you, Gordon and Annie, for hosting this. I thought you guys were doing it in the afternoon, and I couldn't come on earlier, so I apologize. So, thank you, Henry and Judy and Cheryl and Gordon. I didn't see everybody else who was on earlier, but thank you guys for being on. And thank you to everybody who's been supporting. Thank you, Gordon, for doing this. This is awesome. So how have you been enjoying this? I'm like hearing, because I was sitting in the backstage waiting to come on and listening to you guys, and it's just phenomenal. Like, we're so honored to have you in the book, Henry and Judy and Cheryl and everybody else. Annie, it's just such an honor to be able to share this experience with you guys, and so grateful that you guys are opening up yourselves to share with the world your stories and experiences you've had in your life and how you've gone through them, and where's that happy and successful place that you are today. People don't realize that they're not the only ones experiencing things in life. We all have experiences, and even though we might look wonderful and happy on the outside, there's things that we've experienced in our lives that affect us. And I think people need to know that they're not alone, and that there's hope, and that they can have the life that they deserve and desire. And being able to read the stories that you guys share, they get grounded. They realize they're not alone. They have people they can reach out to. They have a support network. They have somebody that they can discuss things with and, learn how to move past if they haven't found their own way. And there is a way. There's different ways that resonate with everybody, and it's just finding that way that works for you. And sharing these stories is helping you to get in that direction, but also to share with you that it's not just about us. It's also about giving back. It's about making a difference in the world, and we all do it in a different way that's important to us, or that we're able to, that we have opportunities for. And what is the way that you're doing that? What is the way that you're giving back to society and making a difference? Because it's so important. We're here for a reason. And, you know, if you can make an impact in any way, then do it. Don't think about it, just do it. Take that action, make things happen, and make a difference in the world. And I'm so thankful to our authors who have participated in this book and in the past books and the future books, you know, for being a part of this community and growing with us. And something you guys may not know is Gordon and I used to be partners for a few years and continue to support one another, and I'm very thankful and grateful for that. And it was actually Gordon who brought me the very first cover of our Empowering Women to Succeed book, Tough Times Don't Last, but Tough Women Do, and said, you know, let's do this for our next project. You know, plunked it in front of me in a frame. It looked awesome, and I said, okay, let's do it. And we went forward and, you know, did the next 5 books together. And, you know, so thank you, Gordon, for that. And thank you for your continued support. You know, love it. It's so impactful. And of course, you've also started your Landed for Success series, and that's going fabulous. And I'm so happy for you. And yeah, I mean, you know, we're here for each other. We're here to support one another and be there. And, you know, thank you very much, Gordon, for doing this, and Annie for co-hosting and helping you, Gordon, run this and organizing it with all our authors, our incredible authors. And I know Henry's like, you know, on the other side of Canada right now. And so it really doesn't matter where you are. We have authors from the US, from all over the place. And, you know, we just love to build that community. So thank you to everybody for being part of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, thank you, Randi. I'm going to just jump in real quickly and actually let Eddie wrap up here. Chief Bailey, Lester Bailey, who was obviously a past author in Empowering Women to Succeed, just said, Randi, hello, beautiful. That's what he just said.
Oh, so, love you, Lester.
So, Lester, please tell every Bailey in the U.S. to buy a copy of a book. And
yes.
Wendy Baird, you remember Wendy? So Wendy is a author of Landed for Success as well. So she's been on here. Louise Martinez is going to promote it to the Spanish community.
Oh, thank you.
So it's been absolutely incredible. And, you know, for the folks who are, you know, watching, I'm just going to take 30 seconds. You know, when you think about my friend Randi Goodman, everyone sees her today with the success that she has. You guys agree with that? She's successful in real estate. She's an incredible, successful publisher. She's has successful events, but they don't see the struggle. Does that make sense? Everybody just sees like what's going on today. And, you know, Randi being a single mom raising 4 boys on her own, it's hard enough to raise 1 teenager. You guys agree with that? Can you imagine 4? So when she talks about Tough Times Don't Last, but Tough Women Do, the first book, and then now the series, and with Annie, with all of you guys on board, she's been there. She's been there. She's been through it. So she's not just talking about she's not just talking about being an author in theory. She knows what it's like, right? She's been there. She knows what it's like to struggle. She knows what it's like to be successful. So if you guys are thinking about buying a copy of the book, don't think about it. Just do it. Okay. Buy 10 copies, give 1 to each one of your friends and family members. Again, the authors, they've done their job, you guys. They've done everything they need to do. They've already done their part. They've already written their story. You know, their authenticity of what they had to write. I mean, my hat's off to them. It is so hard to write. I was mentioning earlier, you know, since Randi I started, we've now helped hundreds and hundreds of people become bestsellers. And every time we'd launch a book, Randi would say, Gordon, when are you sharing your story? And I would say to Randi, the next book. And the next book, she said, Gordon, you ready? I said, no, the next book. And I never did share a story in the Empowering Women to Succeed series. I wish I did, right? But it took me a long time before I was finally brave enough to write my story in a book series. So if you're watching, I encourage you to share your story, okay? Reach out to all the authors, reach out to Annie or Randy, and be part of the series, okay? Buy a book, go to Amazon, give it a 5-star review, and tell some more of your friends about it. So folks that are watching, thank you so much. It's been 2 hours, so thank you for those of you who have been here, those of you watching the replay, and I am going to let Annie wrap up the formal part of this book launch.
Thank you again. I mean, I can't say anything more than what you two have been saying, Randi and Gordon, and of course all the authors throughout these 2 hours. You know, my heart is just beaming right now. I'm so grateful for everyone to make this book already #1 bestseller in Canada pre-launch. So this is huge. That really shows how much power, you know, we have together when we want to inspire others, because others are receptive to that message and they want to hear about it, they want to learn about it. And I'm so grateful that, you know, whoever purchased so far the copy in Canada gave us the trust and wanted to learn and wanted to grow. So our ask today is to reach out to your friends in the US or in India or any other country in Canada and spread the word. We believe, Randi and I believe, that these stories have so much impact, so much value, that our authors do deserve to become international bestsellers, because these stories are so impactful and so motivational, and we want to reach really masses, not only in Canada, but also in the US, maybe in the UK, maybe in India, wherever, you know, books are sold, because we want to make sure that we truly create the good and the good vibes out there in the world with these inspirational and motivational stories. So Gordon, Randi, and all the authors, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who was watching and everyone who gave us their trust and decided to purchase a copy. And please spread the word, because together we can do it and we can make a difference.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.